Chain of events that ended in a deadly crash started with a traffic stop on US 131 near West River Drive in Comstock Park last Friday. Well, tonight we're taking a look at Michigan State Police policy because the officer took off before the driver merged back onto the highway. 24-hour News 8's Sarah Hurwitz got answers today from State Police. She's live in Comstock Park with this story. Sarah?
Well, Marley, that crash happened right here on 131 North. A young man just trying to drive his friends home safely who died in a rear-end crash. But we wanted to know, that trooper should have stayed until that car entered traffic safely.
It was late Friday night when two people, a 20-year-old woman and a man, were pulled over for driving without a license. 24-year-old William Wilson Wade got the call and sprung into action.
His friend needed help, so there's really no telling him no when somebody needs help that he cares about.
Wilson Wade's girlfriend says that he got into his friend's car. It looks like there was some sort of conversation with police, and then the trooper left the scene. And not long after, Wilson Wade started having trouble entering traffic because he didn't know how to drive a manual and died after their car was rear-ended.
And there really isn't a policy that tells us when we do and don't have to stay behind a traffic stop after the traffic stop is concluded.
Which is why Lieutenant Chris McIntyre says the trooper left the scene after he verified that Wilson Wade had a valid driver's license.
It's kind of common sense. So if the roads are wintertime and weather, it's difficult to get back on the roadway, we usually stay behind that car and give them some lights so they can get back on.
McIntyre says in this case, traffic was not heavy Friday night and there wasn't severe weather. So the trooper left before the others pulled into traffic. And there's no way for troopers to know if a driver like Wilson Wade is able to drive a manual.
It's not our responsibility. We assure this person has a driver's license. The Secretary of State, when you go in and get your driver's license, doesn't indicate whether you can drive a manual or automatic.
So to avoid an unsafe situation, why not just impound the car or make an arrest?
We're certain this was a misdemeanor. When you're operating a vehicle with no driver's license, it's a misdemeanor. It's a very minor misdemeanor. So many times we won't make a custodial arrest for those kind of cases because if we did, we would simply fill the jail up.
And I did also ask Lieutenant McIntyre why the traffic stop was not initially included in the release about the crash. And he says that's because they're two separate incidents. Live in Comstock Park, Sarah Hurwitz, 24-hour News 8.